Somewhere in the archives of American criminal history, few cases have gripped the public imagination quite like the Zodiac Killer. Operating primarily in Northern California during the late 1960s and early 1970s, this unidentified serial killer didn't just commit murders. He taunted investigators, journalists, and the public with a series of cryptic coded messages that transformed a string of brutal crimes into one of the most enduring mysteries in modern history. The killer claimed responsibility for at least 5 confirmed murders, though he personally boasted of killing as many as 37 victims. What made this case uniquely terrifying wasn't just the violence, it was the intellectual arrogance behind it. The Zodiac wanted to be known, wanted to be chased, and most disturbingly, wanted to remain forever beyond reach. The Zodiac sent 4 encrypted ciphers to newspapers, each one a puzzle wrapped inside a threat. The first cipher, known as the 3-part cipher or the 340 cipher, was sent in 3 separate pieces to 3 different Bay Area newspapers in July 1969. Within a week, a high school teacher named Donald Harden and his wife Betty cracked it. The decoded message revealed a chilling manifesto. The killer described collecting slaves for the afterlife, suggesting a deeply disturbed and grandiose self-image. However, the remaining 3 ciphers proved far more resistant. The second cipher, known as the 3-4 cipher, contained only 32 characters and remained completely unsolved for decades. The third cipher, known as the 313 cipher, was partially decoded but left investigators with more questions than answers. Then came the most famous unsolved piece, the 340 cipher, also referred to as cipher number 4 or the Zodiac's final cipher. For over 50 years, it sat in silence, defying every expert who attempted to break it. In December 2020, a team of 3 amateur codebreakers, David Oranchak, a web designer from Virginia, Sam Blake, a mathematician from Australia, and Jarl van Eyck, a Belgian software developer, announced they had successfully cracked the 340 cipher. Using a combination of custom software, advanced computational analysis, and thousands of hours of collaborative effort, they decoded a message that read in part, "I hope you're having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I'm not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner." The misspellings were consistent with the Zodiac's previous communications. The Federal Bureau of Investigation officially confirmed the decryption. It was a monumental moment, yet it brought investigators no closer to identifying the killer. The message contained no name, no location, no concrete lead, just more taunting from beyond the decades. Over the years, dozens of suspects have been named, investigated, and ultimately cleared or left unresolved. One of the most prominent suspects was Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted sex offender from Vallejo, California. Circumstantial evidence pointed toward him repeatedly. Witnesses, behavioral patterns, and even a watch bearing the Zodiac symbol. However, fingerprints and deoxyribonucleic acid evidence collected from the letters failed to match him. He died in 1992 without ever being charged. In 2021, a group called the Case Breakers claimed a retired Air Force serviceman named Gary Francis Post was the Zodiac killer, citing facial reconstructions and anagram evidence found in the ciphers. The Federal Bureau of Investigation did not endorse this conclusion. The case officially remains open. The Zodiac killer represents something deeply unsettling, a reminder that intelligence, anonymity, and calculated cruelty can sometimes outpace justice, leaving behind only ciphers, cold cases, and questions that echo across generations.